Go ahead.
As we get started here, Northridge will kick off to the Mustangs. And, one thing I did see on the stats from last week was the penalties that Fort Morgan had. They had 13 penalties for like 135 yards. So that's something that I'm sure was corrected during the week, but will also have to be kept under wraps here in the final two games, because you commit that kind of penalties against good teams and you're not going to go very far.
Absolutely. I think Northridge's only loss has been to Longmont. They have Silver Creek next week. And so they've beat Thompson Valley and Centaurus, teams that we beat, maybe not as handling, but they are a team that's accustomed to winning, and they're going to come out, and to them it's a big challenge to take on Fort Morgan, a team that has just one loss, and it's a signature win for them if they can get it. So
that's for sure. So they're ready to kick off here to the Mustangs. It's going to be a short kick. It's going to be taken out about the 30. The ball is dropped. Hopefully they can get on it. Was that Tate that came up short on it? The opening kickoff is brought to you by Ingmar Phillips Insurance. Looking to find insurance for your car, home, or even for you? Call Ingmar Phillips Insurance with 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. They can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or provide a quote.
And if you happen to have been out of the country for the last month or so, you probably missed 2 weeks ago that Tate Kimball was taken out of the game with a concussion. He played limited, maybe 5-6 plays last week, and it didn't quite look like typical Tate on that play.
That's for sure. So T formation behind Knapp as he gets to start again. It's going to be a pitch to Tate as he cuts it back up the middle across the 30, 35, 50. He's going to go all the way on the first play of the game. Tate Kimball takes it to the house to put the Mustangs up 6-0 with 11:45 to go here in the first period.
I wonder if he heard me say that didn't look like the typical Tate, because that play definitely looked like the old Tate that we're used to. 65 yards on the first play from scrimmage, and that's got to just put a knife in the heart of Northridge, who've been working all week to get up and say, we're not going to let them have big plays, we're not going to do that. And boy, first play, he didn't even get touched.
No, he had started to the right a little bit and then cut it up the middle, and he was gone. The point after is going to be tried tonight by Adam Cardona, and the kick is going to be up, and it looks good. So the Mustangs up 7-0 here on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde here at District 6 Stadium in Greeley. Tristan Reyes at the boards for us tonight. Julie Garcia, our replay engineer. So if you stepped away at the start of the game, Tate Kimball goes 65 yards on the first play, untouched up the middle, and he was not going to be caught by any of their defensive backs.
All right. That's something that we've talked about, but still it's hard to fathom the overall team speed the Mustangs have, even without Tate and Dalen in last week. Just on defense and offense, we just have incredible team speed this year.
Oh, nice deep kickoff by Trey as it is going to go into the end zone for the touchback. So it looks like Trey's been working on these kickoffs a little bit. Got some nice distance, bounced about the 2 or so and bounced into the end zone. So now it will be 1st and 10. Grizzlies from the 20 with their first possession.
We'll see if the defense responds and plays as well as it has. They do have Tate in there at free safety.
So shotgun formation. Snap back, a pass out here into the flat. Nice defense out there on the corner by Angelo Rivera as that pass goes incomplete. So that will bring up a 2nd and 10 Grizzlies from the 20 after that incomplete pass.
And it's going to be hard to pick up the numbers from Northridge because they're in their maroon jerseys with black numbers, dark on dark.
So shotgun formation, man in motion, right to left. It's going to be pitched back to the right. Cuts back up the middle. Now he's going to cut it back out, and not much there, maybe a yard or two. We'll see where they finally mark it down at.
Number 30, Alonzo Lopez on the carry.
Looks like it's a 22, so we'll give him 2. So that'll bring up 3rd and 8 Grizzlies.
Brings up 3rd and 8.
All right.
Hard to tell who that was.
Turned out to be Lopez there.
Okay.
I think one of their leading rushers. I think probably their
So going to be sacked. That should be a. Let's see if they call a just an incomplete pass as he was being hounded in the backfield, almost dragged down. I believe that was Dylan McBride on the pressure. So that will bring up fourth down, forces them to punt back to the Mustangs.
Good note on that defense. We had a lot of pressure early in the season on quarterbacks, and then we kind of went through where we maybe got some pressure, but we didn't really get any hits on them or any sacks. Last week we had a few sacks. It's nice early on to be tugging on his shirt as he's trying to get rid of the ball.
That's for sure. So they had a slight delay, had a referee talking over there, so we'll fourth down and 8 on the punt. Nice spiral punt's going to land out about the 45 and go out of bounds. So Fort Morgan with excellent field position as they will take over. Let's see where they're going to put it at the 30. Where'd they finally mark it back at? The 35-yard line?
Yeah, maybe like 36, 35.
Somewhere in there, but more angled than it looked like, I guess. I thought it was a decent punt, but.
Ball spotted at the 35-yard line for the Mustangs.
And no appreciable breeze here. The flag's hanging straight down.
So first and 10 for the Mustangs. From the 35, a handoff up the middle, and that's to Austin Breidenbach, and he's going to take it down inside the 20. So they have seen something on film here that tells them that they can go up the middle on these guys.
Number 2, Austin Breidenbach.
Right.
So first and 10, Fort Morgan from the 19, I believe. We're kind of at an angle here, but big run there for the Mustangs on first down as McBride goes wide right. I formation again to Breidenbach up the middle, and he is going to get 7 or 8 yards on that carry.
Yeah, I think unfortunately for teams that we play, unless they have a really good defense, they have to choose their poison. And Northridge right now lining up with their ends pretty far outside, saying you're not going to beat us to the outside. And unfortunately for them, that just means we're going to run it up the middle.
So it looks like about a 2nd and 2 from the 11. High formation behind Knapp. Breidenbach and Kimball. It's off to Kimball to the right side. He cuts it back up the middle. And I believe he will have first down yardage. He does, down to about the 5. So that will bring up a first and goal, Fort Morgan.
He's brought down by.
Let's see where they mark it at the 5.
Game's good for a first down.
So
first and goal at the 5, and so far the shortest yardage play has been 6 out of 4 runs, 6, 8, 65, and 16.
So Knapp under center, I formation to Tate Kimball, and he's going to walk into the end zone untouched for the touchdown. Puts the Mustangs up now 13-0 with 9:54 to go here in the first period. This is an explosive offense we have going right now. Granted, Northridge had the same thing, but it was a short week. They had one less day to prepare, but it looks like they prepared well. They spent their time well, and that kick is going to be up and good once again. So 14-0 Fort Morgan with 9:54 to go here on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde here at District 6 Stadium at Northridge High School. The Mustangs now up 14-0. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. Squeezed in between there was a 3 and out by Northridge.
And I think Coach Chisholm will like it if they can get to 40 points before half and save a little bit of wear and tear for next week against Longmont, because that's going to be another difficult game.
Kick comes down about the 6, the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, bounces it outside at the 30, and then taken down by Trey McBride.
Number 10, KP Warner on the return for the Grizzlies.
Out to the, let's see, they're at about the 33-yard line.
In their drive.
Good field position for them compared to the 20 on their last drive. They only gained 2 yards from scrimmage before having to punt. Fort Morgan's defense smothering them.
So shotgun formation for Northridge. 2 receivers left, 2 right. I heard a whistle just before they snapped it, but run up the middle as they get it out to the, just past the 35. Out to the 36-yard line, so a gain of 3. So bring up a 2nd and 7.
That was Lunsford. He's the smaller of the backs, kind of a scat back. And the most positive yardage they've had on the night.
So 2nd and 7 as we have a stoppage of play. Shotgun formation, looks out to the left out here. The pass is going to be complete out to the 42 and finally brought down out across the 45 to the 47.
Number 10, KP Warner with a 90-yard after catch.
So 1st and 10 after the 11-yard pass play out to the 47. No huddle for
The 47-yard line for a Grizzly.
Northridge. 3 receivers right, 1 left. It's going to be a play action as he goes right, and he is going to be across midfield and into Mustang territory down to about the 46-yard line.
Number 12, Ethan on the QB keeper, gets the ball out past midfield.
It'll bring up a 2nd down.
He's brought down by number 47, Dylan McBride.
You calling that the 45 or the 46?
I think it's the 46.
Okay, so 7 yards on that run.
So 2nd and 3. Snap back and pass down here to the left, and that ball is going to be intercepted by at the 30. They're going to say an incomplete. They said it was no good. They said it was incomplete.
I think maybe he touched his knee.
Okay. What was that? That was Mr. Kimball.
He did kind of go down low to get to it. So
yeah. So we'll see. I think it's still.
There's no flag, so it's not like
No.
they're all standing down there. So maybe an inadvertent whistle.
But Tate intercepted it about
And he would
the.
have blown the whistle before the interception. I wouldn't think so.
Looks like it's still going to be Fort Morgan ball. Once they decide. Once they get done here with their conference.
The yard markers are moving. No one told them to move, so
They better hope it's Fort Morgan ball.
all right, here's the announcement.
So, oh,
Yeah.
Fort Morgan ball at the spot of the interception.
oh, I bet Tate is. Because he was going, so.
Well, he's got 1 pass for 11 and 2 incompletes and an interception. So
1st and 10 Fort Morgan from their own 31.
worst field yardage of the night for Fort Morgan.
With 8:36 left here in the first period, Mustangs up 14-0. High formation behind Knapp's going to be a handoff to the right side, and Kimball breaks a tackle. He does get some. Drops the ball. Yep, they're going to say he was down
Number 20, Tate Kimball on
when the ball came out.
loses the ball momentarily, ruled down by the officials.
And Fort Morgan was on it anyway. I'm sure on the replay it looked to me like it was loose before he was down. But 2 yards
So a
on
game
the,
of 2, so bring up a 2nd and 8 from the 33. Probably his shortest gain of the night.
right. And, they've got Trey McBride out there covered one-on-one with a guy that looks like maybe he's 5'8", 5'9". I think we'll see him getting the ball sooner or later.
That's number 16. They're showing him at 5'7". So handoff over that left side. Tate Kimball breaks it across the 35, the 50, 45, 40. Tate Kimball is going to take it to the house for the 2nd time, for the 3rd time tonight.
Number 20, Tate Kimball.
He's making
67 yards on that play.
He is making up for not playing last week. What he's doing. He's getting his yards made up last week. So 20-0 Fort Morgan with 7:42 here left in the first period with the PAT coming up.
No insult intended towards Northridge, but this is like some of the games we had when we played in the Colorado 7 League. I remember one night at Inglewood where it was 21-0 with halfway through the first quarter.
So snap back, the kick is up and looks good once again. So 7:42 left here in the first period. The Mustangs got 21-0 here on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde back here at the District 6 Stadium in Greeley, where the Mustangs have now gone up 21-0 on 3 touchdowns by Tate Kimball. Would you say, Kevin, how many yards has he got?
145 unofficially, and looking at Northridge, they've got a total of 23.
So Northridge is going to take a timeout. So we will catch up on one of our sponsors here as we were a couple of scores behind here. But the first Fort Morgan score of the game is brought to you by Morgan Federal Bank. A bank is committed to their community and keeping banking simple. They are on the cutting edge of banking. Stop by 321 and see what options they have available. Morgan Federal Bank, there is a difference. They're trying to get their ducks in a row here after going down by 3 touchdowns here early in the contest. So take the scores on the first play of the game for Fort Morgan, a 65-yard run. Then he scores from 5 yards out on their second possession, and then he goes 67 yards on the third possession, puts the Mustangs up 21-0 as Northridge. Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear us? Hello? Are we still off? Apparently having some technical difficulties here, from Northridge. But it is 1st and 10 Northridge after the kick from the 15.
Ball bounced around quite a bit, and he had a hard time finding it. Finally picking it up about the 3, and he eased around, but plenty of Fort Morgan players there to finally corral him.
Shotgun formation. The pass. Oh, the ball was almost intercepted by Trey McBride. They tried to get a pass out into the flat, and he just put that big mid up there and ended up knocking it to the ground.
And that's going to play into Eben's mind the rest of the night. Anytime he throws it out to the flat, is that big, tall Trey McBride out there going to snatch it and run it in for a touchdown. It would have been an easy 3-yard shot to score.
So pass down this far left sideline, and that is going to be over the head of the intended receiver, Levi Mueller. So that will bring up a 3rd and 10 Grizzlies.
Good defense by Luis Garcia there. He kept his position and kept him from getting past him down the sideline, and the ball overthrown by about 5 yards.
So shotgun formation once again, 3 receivers right. Going to be a handoff up the middle, but brought down out about the 15-yard line. So now, let's see, they may give him out to the 16, but that will bring up a 4th down. We'll give him 1. We'll bring up a 4th and 9 from the 16. They tried the draw play, and that failed.
Garcia, Lopez on the night, 2 runs for 3 yards.
So Northridge ready to punt the ball away once again. We have Garcia, Luis Garcia and Tate Kimmel standing about midfield as they await the punt to snap back. Nice spiral kick as it's going to go over the head of Tate Kimmel, and he's going to let it bounce as it will come to a rest at about the 34 or 35-yard line. So we'll see where they finally put it, but it will be 1st and 10 Fort Morgan. So it looks like they will put it on the 35.
Same place as the first drive started and was quickly over after 1 play. So far, Fort Morgan starting on their own 35, then on the Grizzlies 35, then back on their 31, and now again back on their own 35.
So I formation behind Knapp. McBride right, Marquez left. As they finally get the ball in play. Knapp under center. It's going to be a handoff, quick handoff to Breidenbach right up the middle, and he'll get a quick 5 and look like 6 as he will get it out to the 41. So that will get to the 46.
His 3rd carry.
41, excuse me, not the 46, the 41.
His 3rd carry, he's averaging just under 8 yards per carry.
So 2nd and 4 for the Mustangs. As Knapp gives it to, Breidenbach drops the ball, and it looks like Northridge jumped on it at about the 43-yard line. And they did, so Fort Morgan fumbles the ball away.
That's the 2nd fumble of the night. Tate fumbled 1 earlier.
1st and 10 Grizzlies in Mustang territory at the 42-yard line.
Looking for just their 2nd first down of the day. Fort Morgan being able to stop them 3 and out twice.
So shotgun formation, trips right, single to the left. And they're going to run the option play. He's going to cut it back up the middle, but he is going to come down at about the 38-yard line. Dylan McBride loses his helmet. So he'll have to leave for a play as they get it down inside the 40 to the 38. So a gain of 4, so 2nd and 6. Northridge, as they are lined up, trips right again, single receiver left. Shotgun formation with the back behind, and he is going to hand off to that back, and he is going to be knocked down at the 35-yard line. So he'll get a gain of 3. So bring up a 3rd and 3 Grizzlies.
He's brought down by number 25.
As they
His second carry of the night, 3 yards on
going to be
each.
another handoff and tripped in the backfield by Jimmy Keller. As they will be short of the first down, so that will bring up 4th.
Short gain on the play.
About 4th and 2 from the 34-yard line. As they get their play from the sideline. So big defensive the Mustangs is going to be a quick pass out to the right. And that ball is going to be intercepted by Linker. 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15. And he is going to do the tackle. And it looks like, is he going to get in? He's just going to be short, just short of the end zone. Looks like they've got him down at the 1.
And that time, Trey McBride said, I'm not even going to get close to him. And he let the quarterback catch up. And Lincoln got hit about the 5, but he spun around and got down to the 1. How close can that be?
So 4:54 left here
And folks, there is a maroon
in the first period here as the Mustangs get their turnover back. So it'll be 1st and goal, Fort Morgan from the 1.
The door is open.
As they line up at the 1. Full house backfield. They get off to Tate Kimball. And I don't know if he gets, they give him the touchdown. Tate Kimball takes it in from 1 yard out. So 4 touchdowns on the night for Tate Kimball as that puts the Mustangs up now 27-0 with 4:47 left here in the first period.
And I wonder if Tate's mad because that is going to cut into it. Well, welcome back to Northridge Stadium. We're having lots of technical difficulties. My partner Brian is working on getting the phone system hooked up. In the meantime, while you've been gone, Northridge has driven all the way down from their 33 all the way down to Fort Morgan's 12-yard line. And looks like they're through the pass, incomplete into the end zone. Great defensive play. So the deepest threat by Northridge by far all night. First time that they've been into Morgan territory. Evans back to throw, being harassed, scrambling to the right, overthrows his receiver out of the end zone. And looks like we're going to have a penalty here, possibly a hold on Fort Morgan. Corner of the end zone, and knocked away at the last minute by Tate Kimball. The receiver had it in his hands, but Tate goes up at the last minute and knocks it out of his hands for a great defensive play, bringing up 4th and 10 from the 16-yard line. We'll see what Northridge has at this point. Doesn't look like they have a kicker, so they're probably going to be going for it again on 4th and 10. Again, if you're just joining us, we're experiencing some technical difficulty. I'm Kevin Rohde with Brian Nickel, and Brian is busily trying to correct any technical problems we have. So there's a timeout on the field. You're listening to Fort Morgan football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back to District 6 Stadium in the northwest corner of Greeley, Colorado, as Fort Morgan Mustangs are taking on the Northridge Grizzlies. Eben drops back to pass. He's hit as he throws, and it drops incomplete. Fort Morgan's going to take over on downs. Eben's down on the field, hurt a little bit. He was sandwiched by 3 different Fort Morgan players. Looks like maybe as he threw, his throwing hand hit the helmet of one of the defenders. Hopefully he's all right. We don't want to see anyone hurt. Mustangs take over, though. 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line. And that was a great defensive stand after letting them get quite a bit of yardage and get deep down into our own territory. Oh, out at the 17, not the 12. Sorry about that, folks. Under center, he hands off to Tate Kimball, who's off the right side. Gets down to the 24-yard line, gain of 7. Tate's running really hard after having a couple weeks off with a concussion 2 weeks ago, and then last week just running the ball once and playing maybe 4 or 5 snaps on defense. So Fort Morgan huddling up at the 24-yard line. And in the backfield, they have Tate Kimball and 34, who is Angel Abreu. Hand off to Tate. Tate powering up the middle, and what a strong run there to get the first down out at the 30-yard line. So Tate Kimball kind of, that time, had to work quite a bit on his own to make those yardage. So that's going to bring up 1st and 10. After that 6-yard gain by Tate Kimball. Tate Kimball deep, now number 4, who is Gerardo Miranda in there at the back, or maybe that's still Abrego. It's hard to tell. No, it's Abrego. And Tate cutting off his run to the left and now heading outside and out of bounds up there around the 45-yard line. So another nice run by Tate. Northridge doesn't seem to have any solution to the Tate Kimball problem. 15 yards on that carry out to the 45. And he's running hard. Fort Morgan's line, again, as we've talked about throughout the season, just moving the entire line of scrimmage down the field so that our running backs have 2 or 3 yards before they even get contact or close to anyone. Again, Tate Kimball deep, and Miranda blocking for him. Oh, and he dropped the ball. Looks like maybe they got it. Oh, and it wasn't Tate. It was 21 George Perea with the fumble. So that gives Northridge a little bit of time.
23.2.
So
Grizzly football on the 43-yard line.
So it's going to be 1st and 10. Correct. 1st and 10 from Fort Morgan's 43-yard line. And in the shotgun back is Eamon, and there's going to be a motion penalty or an offsides. So we'll see what this is. Oh, it is false start. So that's going to bring up 1st and 15 out at the 48. Northridge going the wrong direction. In a game against a tough Fort Morgan defense, they're going to have to definitely play mistake-free football. So even deep, and he hands off to Lunsford, and Lunsford buried deep in the backfield. So, all right. So back to the 50, a loss of 2 yards by Lunsford. 2nd and 17. Fort Morgan's defense still dominating. Oh, and that's the end of the quarter. Fort Morgan ahead 27-0 over the Northridge Grizzlies. You're listening to Fort Morgan Mustang football on B106 and B106.com. Welcome back to Northridge. There was a offsides penalty against Fort Morgan, so that's going to move the ball up and make it 2nd and 12 from the 45. Northridge trying to play some catch-up in a ball game that they're back behind 27-0 against the Grizzlies in Greeley. And that particular time looks like 27 Lunsford again gets hit quickly in the backfield. And I'm going to turn it back over to Brian now that he's done doing his little technical wizardry.
We'll see what happens here now. It's 3rd and 11 from the 44-yard line. Shotgun formation is going to be a handoff up the middle, and nothing there. It looks like it'll be a loss of maybe even 1. Let's see who is in there. Number 62.
32 Araujo running the ball for Northridge, losing 2 yards.
Yeah, Eric Carrillo in on that tackle. So that will bring up a 4th and 14, actually a loss of 3. So the Mustangs, as Kevin had said, up 27-0. as Tate and Garcia are deep for the Mustangs. Garcia touches it. It's going to foul on it over there at about the 10-yard line, it looks like. So it'll be 1st and 10 Fort Morgan.
I tell you what, Fort Morgan's up 27 to nothing, but if this was against a good team, we'd be in a world of hurt with all the turnovers we've had and poorly handled punts there. I'm sure coaches are not very happy about this. Getting the ball way down on the 10-yard line and trying to deal with a long field when all you have to do is catch the punt. He misjudged it, and it bounced 2 feet in front of him and bounced off of him. And we're lucky to get that back, or they would have had the ball way down at our goal line.
So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan, I formation behind Knapp, receivers left and right. It's going to be a handoff over that left side to Kimball, and he breaks it outside across the 25, the 30, the 40-yard line, and he's going to be run out on that far sideline at about the 36-yard line. So a 26-yard gain there brings up a 1st and 10 Fort Morgan.
Number 20, Tate Kimball on the carry.
Yep.
Forced out of bounds by number 21, Luis Torres.
Very nice. Like you said, out to the 36.
Yeah, out to the 36-yard line with 10:37 left here in the first half of the Mustangs up 27 to nothing. So Marquez goes left and McBride to the right. I formation behind Knapp. It's going to be a handoff to the right side. And not much there for Tate. We'll get it back to the line of scrimmage, I believe. So that will bring up a 2nd and 10 Fort Morgan.
That's the first time that they've stopped Fort Morgan for no gain. And I don't think really a 2nd and 10 is a good time to, break into that passing game. It'd be much better on a 2nd and 1 or something when they're expecting us to just keep pounding it.
So a handoff to Kimball over the left side, and he breaks it out across the 40.
Well, he took a hit there at the end.
Number 20,
we're going to mark it out to the 41 to be a gain of 5, so bring up a 3rd and 5 Fort Morgan from the 41-yard line, from their own 40.
After the head injuries that we suffered 2 weeks ago, you're just a little more conscious when you see someone go down hard like that after a good hit. But Tate's a tough kid, and he's staying in there and raring to go.
So I formation once again. It's going to be a handoff to Kimball around that right side, and he's going to break it outside, and he will get out to first down territory. It'll be close anyway. You have to get out to the 46.
The ball out near first down.
And they're going to eye it at the moment and see where it's at. And they will give him the first down. So just enough for the first down, a 5-yard gain. So I'll bring up 2nd and 10. Or 1st and 10 Fort Morgan from the 46.
Right. Now this might be the time for the little play action pass. Dump over the top.
See it. Now we will have a
timeout
Fort Morgan. So we'll take one with them here with 9:11 left. The Mustangs up 27 to nothing here on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde back here at Greeley. It's not Greeley High School, Northridge High School. I formation is going to be a play action. Snap goes out to his right, looks for McBride, hits McBride at the 40, and tippy toes down to about the 39 or 38-yard line.
Pass complete to number 13, Trey McBride.
That will be plenty for a first down. So 1st and 10 Fort Morgan at the 38-yard line.
So 12 and 4, 16-yard on that nice little pitch and catch.
So first pass play of the night for the Mustangs.
Not taking anything away from Dalen, but the passing game is much easier when they've got 10 guys up on the line trying to stop the run.
So I formation handoff to Kimball on the left side. He is going to be drugged down out about the 35, 36-yard line. We'll see where they finally put it.
Number 20, Tate Kimball on the carry for the Mustangs.
They're going to give him 2, so we'll call it 2nd 8 from the 36. As Dalen comes back into the huddle from the sideline. Fort Morgan dressed out in all white tonight. The Northridge Grizzlies in their maroon. Black numbers. Knapp pitches it back to Kimball on that right side, and he is going to be hit in the backfield. And we'll maybe get it to the 35. We'll see if
Kimball finds no running room on the far side.
where they finally mark it at, but it will bring up a third down.
Yeah, I think we'll give him one on that.
It'll be 3rd and 7 from the 35.
And they do seem to have Tate's number all of a sudden. Of course, they're putting, like I said, 10 guys up in the box on that last play. Now they have to respect the pass just a little bit more. 3rd and 8.
So we got Garver wide left. Trips to the right, and Knapp is going to pass. It's going to be a little pass to Marquez at the 30.
And he didn't quite get to the marker, I don't think. Just
Well, it's close. They're
Yeah, it is.
parking down about the 22 and a half, but looks like it might be just, they're going to mark it back at the 23, so it's going to be a yard short.
28. It's hard to tell.
28.
So 7 yards on that. So 6 yards, 4th and 1.
4th and 1 from the 28.
That was Marquez, you said.
Yeah, Adrian Marquez, number 10 for the Mustangs.
So
Do they have a flag or what? Are they having problems with
I
the
think
chain?
they're actually going to
believe?
measure it
Oh, okay.
because it looks like it's right on the line, and and I would think they would have measured it when it was on the sideline before they moved it out to the down marker. That's it's going to be hard to measure now.
Because it was 1st and 10 from the 38, so it will be close.
4th down.
They're going to call it 4th.
So only 6 on that play.
That's pretty good, but they can mark it that way and didn't even bring the chains out on the field. So
Yeah, they should have, wherever the ref put the ball down on the sideline, that should have been where they measured it before they moved it out. But
a big play here for the Mustangs as Northridge crowds the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a handoff to Austin Breidenbach, and he's hit in the backfield, and he does not make it.
first loss of yardage on a play by the Mustangs. They lost 1 on that. Turned it over on down, so that's a moral victory for the Grizzly.
Through the line for the Northridge Grizzlies to bring
So
down
7:38 left here in the first half. The Mustangs up 27-0, and it will be Grizzly ball, 1st and 10 from the 29.
Fort Morgan traveling well. They've got probably about half as many fans as Northridge does for their home field. Northridge fans not very noisy at this point, trailing 27-0.
So 2 receivers right, 2 left. Shotgun formation. Snap back, quick pass out here to the left, and in the hands, Grayson Garver had a chance to intercept that pass as it was just high for the intended receiver, and then through his hands it falls incomplete.
And that was crazy. It was over the original receiver's head. Grayson tips it, and it almost goes to a wide-open receiver, and if he would have been able to catch that, I don't know if we would have caught him. I guess Tate was back there. He might have ran him down.
So 2nd down, pass out here into the flat end, leads the back by about 4 yards, so that will be an incomplete pass also. So that will bring up 3rd and 10 from the 29. So not a lot of success here for Northridge tonight.
Right. And during our technical difficulties, the drive that Northridge had that went about 60 yards, I wasn't able to get any stats during that because it was a little bit crazy and mixed up. But
So pass, it looks like it's going to be intercepted by the Mustangs as it was tipped at about the 40. And who is that? Number 11 for the Mustangs. Luis Garcia comes up with the interception for the Mustangs. So it will be 1st and 10 Mustangs from the Grizzly 43.
so that's 3 interceptions for Eben on the night. And, on that one, it's not really, I didn't think it was his fault. It looked like the receiver should have had that, and it went through his hands and went to the Mustang defender. So now Fort Morgan in business in Grizzly territory.
So 1st and 10 from the 43 as a handoff up the middle to Breidenbach. As he will get it to the gain of 1. So bring up a second.
Yeah, just like that, they've figured out the Fort Morgan running game. The last 4 runs have only netted 3 yards for the Mustangs. Not sure what's going on there.
So Knapp to pass out into the flat, and it looks like they're going to say it was a completed pass down to the 36-yard line.
Number 13, Trey McBride on the reception.
So that will bring up a third down.
We'll pick up a 6.
Third and third and 3 from the 36-yard line. By formation behind Knapp, receivers left and right. It's going to be a handoff to Kimball once again, as he will get enough for the first down as he gets it down to the 31-yard line, a gain of 5.
Kimball on the carry for the Mustangs.
So first and 10.
Ball out past the 30 yards.
Fort Morgan from the Grizzly 31.
Gain on the play is good for a first down.
So Tate Kimball having to work a little bit for his yards, more this quarter than first quarter. Don't know whether they've substituted in some people on the offensive line to maybe get them some reps.
So Arquez left and McBride to the right. I formation going to be handed off to Bryden back up the middle, and he will get at least 5, maybe 6 yards down to the 24-yard line.
And he's really improved as the season's come along and is doing a much better job of running downhill and staying low.
On the carry for the Mustangs.
So second and 3 from the 24. As the Mustangs take a little extra time in the huddle I formation once again behind Knapp. Receivers left and right, hand off to Breidenbach right up the middle. And not a lot of running room right there anymore up the middle. We'll see if they give him
Number 2, Breidenbach on the carry for the Mustangs.
a yard there. So it is...
Doesn't look like it. Looks like no gain.
This will be a third and 3 from the 24.
Down in Pueblo. Pueblo is now up 14-0. If you're a 6-man football fan, Fleming is playing Otis and is ahead 28-8 in the second quarter.
So third down, it's going to be a handoff to Kimball over that right side. He breaks it down inside the 20, breaks the tackle to the 15, and he will have plenty for the first down as he goes out of bounds on that east sideline.
Number 20,
At about the 12-yard line. So first and 10, Fort Morgan from the 13.
Pick up 11.
Another strong run by Tate Kimball as he was hit a couple times, broke free, and then finally driven out of bounds on that east sideline.
A score here will put us within 1 touchdown of running clock.
So high formation once again behind Knapp. It's going to be a handoff to Kimball as he's hit in the backfield and driven back. He will lose yardage back to the 16, get a loss of 3. To bring up a second and 13 from the 16.
And it looks as though they're maybe doing some run blitzing now and just committing, like I said, 9-10 guys to stopping that run, and you can't block all of them. And when they do that, like on the previous play, he goes through a hole where they don't stunt through, and then he gets a nice gain of 11 yards. If they do get through and they get a piece of them, then you might get a loss of yards.
So Bulis lines up on this left end. It's going to be a handoff to Kimball around this left side. He's got some running room. So he cuts it back inside to the 10. And he will get the lost yardage back plus about 3. So it will be third down.
To the left sideline. Number 17, Fernando Rodriguez.
Third and 7.
And I wonder if we'd see a field goal at this point if we don't make fourth down.
I'm going to call it the 11, I guess. The third and 8. Yeah, they have the freshman kicker that's been doing the extra points, Adam Cardona, I believe is the proper way to pronounce that. So Northridge will call a timeout here. So we'll take one with them with 3:06 left here in the first half of the Mustangs up 27-0 on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde here at District 6 Stadium in Greeley with Tristan Reyes running the boards for us tonight back at the studios in Fort Morgan. Fort Morgan on the year is averaging 64.1 pass yards a game, 296.5 rushing yards. Northridge is averaging 217 passing yards. So a play action as Knapp rolls out to his right. It's going to be hit from the back. As he didn't have his head on a swivel that time, and he was brought down from the back, so that will bring up a fourth down from the 12. We'll bring up a 4th and 9, as we will see a field goal attempt.
Yep, maybe they just wanted to run it to the right a little bit to line him up.
So this will come from the 18-yard line. The ball is down. It's going to be well short. It might have been tipped. It was hard to tell. But that field goal is no good.
Score remains 27-0.
So with 2:24 left here in the first half, the Fort Morgan Mustangs turn it over to the Northridge Grizzlies.
At the 20-yard line. We'll see if Northridge can muster any scoring drive in 22 minutes and 24 seconds. They're going to have to pass the ball to get down there, and that is the one thing that Fort Morgan is not as good as defending against is the run. So we'll see as they test our DBs deep.
So put a man in motion left or right. It's going to be a play action as he rolls out to his right, and he's going to take off. And if he's not caught, he's going to go all the way. He's at the 40, 35, 30. Gets away from the tackle at the 25 and will take it all the way into the end zone for the Grizzlies. And that is the quarterback, Chance Eben.
He keeps it for a Grizzly touchdown.
So that makes it 27-6 with 2:09 left.
And that was a well-designed play as they came around for the option. There was no one to option. You know, normally the quarterback reads either the cornerback or the defensive end or someone, and there was no one there. And then he just accelerated past, and there at the end, someone tried to catch up with him.
I think it was Garcia.
Garcia, and I think he dove at his feet instead of trying to climb up on his back and maybe slow him down.
So one play, 80 yards. And that kick is up, and it is good. So with 2:09 left, the Mustangs' lead has been cut by 7. So they now lead 27-7 as Chance Eben goes 80 yards in one play.
Wow, that gets the fans fired up right before halftime and maybe gets a little bit of self-doubt in the Mustangs. I doubt it. They pretty confident bunch, the Coach Chisholm's team, and sure they're just going to diagram that up and give Langford something to talk about at half, because he's not going to be happy about that, I'm sure.
No, so they will get the ball back here with a little over 2 minutes left in the first half. So we'll see if they...
Even a 6'3", 190-pound, does that say freshman? Nope, I guess he's a junior. I was looking at the wrong side there.
Okay.
Yep, junior. So he's going to be a good one next year that we're going to have to face. He can throw the ball and obviously run now.
So a short kickoff going to be taken by Kimball at the 30, 35, and goes up the middle to the 40. So we will see it be just outside the 40-yard line, it looks like.
Out to about the 40-yard line.
So the Mustangs with 2 minutes and 3 seconds left here in the first half. We will see what they get going here, because the Grizzlies will get possession, the first possession of the second half. As it looks like the Mustangs are looking for somebody to fill a spot out there. It looks like Garver finally makes it out there.
Looks like the Grizzlies may be in a 4-4, 4-3 type offensive front. Now they back off some more people, so they only have 6 up front.
So Knapp rolls out to his right, pass to McBride. He gets it at the 45, the 50, the 45-40. He is a big man to take down, and he finally gets down inside Grizzly territory, clear down to the 33-yard line.
Well, I'm a grown man, and I don't think I'd want to tackle him. I'm thinking, you know, what's going to happen? He's up and limping a little bit.
Yep. He stopped the play over there, but hopefully nothing serious there, as it will be 1st and 10 Fort Morgan from the Grizzly 33.
Gets the ball out to the 33-yard line.
25 on that pass. Dalen Knapp 4 for 4 on the night. So that's a good night of passing.
Yeah, that's for sure. So 1:46 and counting here in the first half. Mustangs have an excellent opportunity here, though, to get the touchdown back that they just gave up. Knapp rolls out to his right. It's a pass down the middle. That pass almost one-handed, but out in front of the receiver, Garcia.
His first drop of the night.
Pass intended for number 11, Luis Garcia.
So that will bring up a 2nd and 10. Fort Morgan, as we're down to 1:32.
Good news is it stops the clock there on the incomplete pass.
So we'll see. I don't know if Trey was able to come back in, if they're looking him over at the sideline, but doesn't look like he's in right now. Marquez to the left. It's going to be a handoff to Kimball. Hits a player and then bounces off here on inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. He'll be close to the first down. So we'll see if
Number 20, Tate Kimball, weaves his way
they
out.
will give him the first down. So nice 10-yard run there by Tate Kimball, as it is 1st and 10 from the 23. High formation as they give it to Breidenbach as he backs his way down to about the 21-yard line.
They're trying to strip that ball every play.
So it looks like Fort Morgan will take a timeout. It's their last timeout of the half, and this Fort Morgan Mustangs timeout is brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East in Fort Morgan will fit you into the car or truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Ehrlich Toyota East. So 2nd and 10. No, not 2nd and 10. About a 2nd and 8.
Right.
From the 21.
And it'd be nice to see Fort Morgan answer that touchdown by Northridge. That would kind of take what little wind they get out of their sails, and bring them back maybe flat after half. I see Tate walking around in the back talking to the trainer. Let's hope.
Tate
or not Tate, Trey, you're
okay.
right. Sorry.
So Marquez comes left, I formation with Breidenbach and Kimball. Kimball is the deep back. I believe that's Garcia on the far side.
Right.
That has come in for McBride. So Knapp goes under center on 2nd and 8. And we have a right tackle take off too early, so that will set him back 5.
And you talked in the pregame about the penalties that we've had, and so far today it's been a pretty penalty-free game. A couple penalties on Northridge, but Fort Morgan's played well, and now right when you need it at the end of the half.
So a pitch back to Kimball about the 30, he'll break down 25-20, and he will roll down to about the 12-yard line. They cage
Sweep to the left side for the Mustangs.
pushed away there. He was getting into it with somebody there at the about the 12. So now
We don't need that going into Longmont, having someone not be able to play next week because they get a little hot at someone here.
So that brings up a 3rd down. I'm not sure they stopped the clock here. So about a 3rd and 4 from the 17-yard line. As the clock runs, Knapp goes under center. It's going to be a play action hit over the middle, but that pass is going to be incomplete at about the 5. So that will bring up a 4th and 4
Pass intended for number 25.
for the Mustangs.
Great defense on the play by number 21, Luis Garcia.
As Knapp comes back to the huddle. So, incomplete pass is, let's see, McBride is now back in on the far sideline.
And if they don't throw it to McBride down in the corner, I don't know what they would do. And I think that's what the Northridge coach saw and said, we're going to put 2 guys out there on that guy.
Yeah, McBride comes back in. Looks like he's doing pretty, no noticeable limp or anything, so maybe he just got a stinger on the knee or something. And
Right, could have been just like a Charlie horse or something, got hit in the thigh as he went out. So 40 seconds, 38.6 seconds left.
Yeah. Stubbs Gas and Oil. Make Stubbs Gas and Oil your next stop out heading out of town. During your visit, you can gas up your vehicle, sit down to lunch, get snacks, and your hunting and fishing licenses. Find everything you need at low prices at Stubbs Gas and Oil in Wiggins. Looks like McBride loosening up a little bit out there.
He was signaling to Dalen that he's going to be running a post. Hopefully the defense is willing to let him run that post and not give him the outside instead.
So 4th and 4 with 38.6 seconds left. And Knapp goes back and a pass over into that far sideline, and that ball is going to be
We had a shot, didn't we?
incomplete on that far sideline. Threw it just a little far. Looks like it might have been off his fingertips, but that pass does fall incomplete.
After starting 4 for 4, he's now 4 of 7, but he doesn't have the 3 interceptions that Eben has for Northridge.
So 32.7 seconds left to finish out this first half. The Mustangs up 27-7. So 1st and 10 from the 12. Snap back, pass out into that flat. It's going to be complete out at the 20, the 25, the 30, and he's going to go out of bounds. We have a flag back here at the 22-yard line.
And that looks right where you get the hold or the chop block going on. Or possibly a hit to the head or face mask, hands the face mask on defense.
So we'll see. Have an illegal receiver downfield. That's the second one on them tonight for that penalty.
So you just cannot release downfield too early as an offensive lineman. And that flag is definitely 5 yards downfield.
Yeah. So that will bring up a
downfield, offense number 72. 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
be a 1st and 15 now from the 8.
Fans not enjoying that call at all. Now they're just
Now they're just going to kneel on it and get out of here. So that will probably be the last play of the first half. As the coach has already taken them off the field. We're down to 17 seconds. And counting as it first half will come to an end with the Mustangs leading 27-7. We will be back in 3 minutes with the halftime show on B106 and B106.com. Trey McBride getting the ball set up on the tee as we are about ready to get this second half underway. So we'll see if he puts his foot into it like he has been. Not going to be quite as deep as it's going to bounce out about the 25, the 15, and it'll be picked up at the 10 on the far sideline and finally goes out of bounds. Let's see where they mark him back at the 16-yard line. So 1st and 10 Grizzlies from the 16 with 11:56 here left in the third quarter.
And that's the third time tonight that the Grizzlies have had a hard time controlling the kick and actually getting any kind of return on it. So that's probably something that they'll be working on.
So shotgun formation for Eben and three receivers right. Single receiver to the left. Shotgun formation with a back pass out into the flat and caught and evades one tackler and then goes out of bounds at the 27-yard line.
All right.
So plenty for the first down.
The defender whiffed on that.
So they're no huddle offenses. They get their signal from their coaches here on the sideline. Send one receiver far left, kind of an H-back to the right, two receivers right. Going to be a handoff over the left side. A nice job as Dylan McBride throws the running back for a loss.
Lopez there.
Back to the 24. So a loss of 3, so it'll bring up a 2nd and 13 from the 24. Three receivers right. He looks out to his left, now back over the middle. And that ball is going to be tipped. And I believe that was Trey McBride once again with the tip. And that will bring up a 3rd and 13 from the 24 for the Grizzlies as the Mustangs lead this 27-7 here into the third quarter.
And I don't understand the Northridge coaches going with the quarterback staying in the huddle. He was much better as a moving quarterback.
And now we have a Eben drops back to pass, and he is going to be sacked.
Eben's brought down in the backfield.
Looks like Dylan McBride, Nate Cage, and who is the other one there? Is that a 0? That's 8. Isaac Linker with the sack.
Linker having a good night tonight. Loss of 4 on that sack. Found out from Coach Dorn, the official statistician for Fort Morgan, that sacks do count against their running game instead of against their passing. So
Okay.
I've been corrected on that.
So it brings up a 4th and 17 from the 20. Kick over here to the sideline. It's going to bounce out midfield and then roll back into Grizzly territory. So Fort Morgan will be set up here nicely to start off their first drive of the second half.
And I was happy to see Fort Morgan's defense come out and stiffen up a little bit and not let Northridge kind of hang around too long on that drive.
So 1st and 10 from the Grizzly 46.
Punt goes out and down to the 46-yard line, where the Mustangs will begin their drive. 1st and 10.
So as I said, excellent field position here. Let's see if we can take advantage of it. See if they've done anything at halftime to counter the defense of Northridge. I formation receivers left and right. It's going to be a handoff to Kimball over that right side. And not a lot there. He's going to get a couple down to the 43.
20 Kimball will carry to the right side.
So that'll be a gain of 3. Bring up 2nd and 7.
Now Northridge committing 2 defenders to cover Trey McBride. So that's going to help the running game a little bit as long as they're willing to take 2 guys out there to stop him and 1 guy out here on Martinez. We got the numerical advantage on the running game.
So handoff to Kimball once again as he will get it down to the 40. Maybe just inside the 40, but it will still bring up a 3rd down.
Number 20, Kimball on the carry.
We'll put it at the 39.
Reminds me a little bit of that game against Meade where we came out second half and we just pounded it right down the middle and had a couple 4th down and 1s, but we're able to get 2 or 3 yards on each of those and scored and demoralized them and ended up winning that game.
Yeah, 3rd down, handoff to Kimball over this left side, and he broke it open. The 30 bumps it outside, but he is going to be brought down inside the 30-yard line. But plenty of yardage for the 1st down as he gets down to the 28-yard line. So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan from the 28. 11-yard run there for Kimball.
On his 24th carry of the night, so he's definitely healed up and back in the game. Knapp throwing really well, so obviously no detriment there. And Nate Cage has been playing both ways on the line. He's a big part of that offensive line.
That's for sure. So I formation, and it's going to be a play action as he's going to look for McBride down the field. And it's going to be caught by McBride into the end zone for the touchdown. That big broad body of McBride goes up well over the size of the defenders there. He gets it about the 1 and then goes into the end zone for the touchdown. Puts the score now 33-7. Fort Morgan with 8:53 to go here in the 3rd period.
And the Northridge fans just saying, that's just not fair to have a kid like that you can just throw the ball up and he goes up and catches it.
So that extra point is no good.
So maybe the experiment with Adam Cardona as the extra point kicker is going to be short-lived as he gets the first 3 and now has missed 2 in a row.
So we will see what they've gone away from John Hochnuddle. I don't know if John is not
8:53 remaining in the 3rd.
suited up what happened there, but he'd been kicking well. He kicked that field goal last week.
Right.
So we will see
and
what
last
happens.
week, the extra point, we had kind of a surprise. Who was it, 63 or?
73. It was Jorge
73.
Ramos that was doing the...
Jorge did a good job of unconventionally one-step kicking the ball through, but, it worked. And it's terrible to lose you just win the kicking spot and then you lose it to a freshman who kicks a field goal. But that's the way of football, whoever's best performing at the time, you're going to go with your hot hand. And
that's for sure. So 8:53 left here, 3rd period, as Fort Morgan takes their first drive 46 yards on a 28-yard pass to McBride. The point after touchdown was no good. Kickoff by McBride is going to come down out about the 10, the 15, the 20, bounces outside to the 30, 35, and comes out of one tackle, but does get brought down by Manzano, I believe. Am I pronouncing that correct? Javon? Yes.
Manzano,
yes.
At least that's what we think, and he did a good job of getting that.
So I don't know if we have a flag here that I'm not seeing.
No flag on the play.
Oh, it was laying here in front, so we couldn't see it. It was in front of the Grizzly bench. So 1st and 10, Northridge from the 42-yard line, their own 42.
Strange on that. I don't know how a flag falls out of your pocket. I know sometimes they'll throw the pass interference and then judge that it was over their head, but on a kickoff return, it seemed a little bit different.
So even in the shotgun formation, 2 receivers left as they put a man in motion right to left. Snap back. He looks far down this right sideline and over the head of the intended receiver. Nice job there by Garcia and Garber on the defensive end of it, as it will bring up a 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. And that was that? Trying to get that to number 10.
Right, Warner.
Kaylor Warner. So 2nd and 10 from the 42. It's going to be a handoff. And we'll get a couple out to the 44-yard line. See where they finally umpire at. More like the 43.
So he gets one on that. Some tough yards for Lopez.
So 3rd and 9 from the 43. Pass over the left side. Nice job. It was in the hands that knocked away by the defender, Angelo Rivera. So nice defensive job out there on that corner by Rivera, as that will bring up a 4th and 9 Northridge.
And even only with 2 complete passes, they seem to have done better with that option play. I'm guessing they're going to go back with that at some point if they want to try and continue to keep in the game.
So Kimball and Garcia stand back at their own 20 as they await the snap and the punt from Northridge. High, nice punt as Garcia is going to take it at the 20. The 25, the 30, bounces it outside. They have a flag thrown into the pile.
Yeah, you see that flag coming in, you might as well just drop to a knee because all the yards you're getting are coming back. Northridge kid down on the ground. He's up now, but he probably got blocked in the back and probably going to take it back inside the 20.
So we will await the call here from the official. And Mustangs are walking back, as you said, inside the 20. Not to the 16, because I could be
Blocking
first.
back on the return team, number 25. 10-yard penalty.
Cade Bulis, I believe, 25 is what he said.
Right.
So
I'm sure Cade just trying to make the play, and at the last minute, a defender's going to turn his back, and you're going to get caught blocking in the back. It's just part of the game anymore.
that's for sure. So we will see what kind of a drive the Mustangs can put together. Leading 33-7 with 8:02 left here in the 3rd period.
Now they're leaving Trey in single coverage.
Handoff to Tate Kimball over the left side, and he will get it out at least past the 20. See where they finally put it down. It may be just short of the 21. We'll call it the 20, a gain of 4. So 2nd and 6. Fort Morgan.
His 25th carry. He's been the workhorse today. Next largest carrier is Breidenbach with just 7 carries.
So high formation once again to Kimball over that left side. He breaks it out across the 30, 35, 40. If he gets a block out there, he's got it on the far sideline. 40, 35, 30, 20. He's pulling away. 10, 5, touchdown. Tate Kimball. He's 5th of the night.
And I'm seeing no flags.
See no flags as he takes it 80 yards. for the touchdown to put the Mustangs now up 39-7 with 7:15 left here in the third period. He broke that open on the other side. It looked like that Northridge defender was going to catch him there a little bit, and then Tate put on the afterburners, and he just started pulling away from him there and into the end zone.
But what made that play was two wide receivers downfield blocking for him. So when he broke through, there were two defenders, two blockers, and Tate, and they didn't have a chance of stopping him.
So this time the PAT is good.
Number 42, Austin Crosscott. Jump right for the Mustangs.
They're making the same mistake here we made last week. They don't have the right number in on their 42, but so now 42-7 with 7:15 to go.
This looking a lot like the first quarter. You know, maybe it's the direction that the teams are going, although we're going the opposite way we were first quarter. But certainly, tale of three different quarters as Northridge really plays much better in the second quarter and outscores us 7-0. And you take the first and the fourth quarter, or first and third quarter, we've outscored them 40-0.
Yeah. So that was an 80-yard run by Tate Kimball.
It doesn't seem to take him long to go 80 yards. He just zooms.
I'd still be running out there if it was a trying to go 80 yards. So 40-7 Fort Morgan as they get ready to kick off to the Grizzlies.
Sounds like they were announcing that maybe the Grizzlies are playing Centaurus. So are they 1-2 then?
Yes.
So they had to have lost to both Longmont and Silver Creek. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Northridge is 1-2.
Okay.
As McBride gets ready to kick off. Nice kick's going to come down at about the 10, 15, the 20 along that far sideline. 25, and is going to be brought down just about the 30-yard line.
Nice diving tackle by Javon. Kind of climbs on his back and brings him down.
So 1st and 10 from the 30 for Northridge.
That's Javon Manzano.
7:08 left here in the third period with the Mustangs up 40-7.
And Northridge, if they don't score this time and the Mustangs go down and score, we could see the last quarter running clock.
So actually they may put it out through the 31. So 3 receivers left, 1 right. Shotgun formation as they put a man now in motion left to right. Looks out here to that. It's going to be well over the head of the intended receiver. And even hits the ground as Dylan McBride gets to him about the time he lets go of the ball.
Yeah, and he's throwing the ball early and hot because he wants to get it out of his hand. You know, that's where the defense, even though you don't get a lot of sacks, you put a lot of pressure on him and little hits on him, it affects how he throws that ball all the rest of the time.
That's for sure. So 2 receivers right, 2 left. Shotgun as they're going to run that option play, and it didn't go very far this time. He's going to get maybe about 3 out to the 34. So they'll bring up a 3rd and 7 from the 34.
3-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, other than that 180-yard play, they have a pass of 11, and the rest of the time we've held them, pass of 11, a pass of 31, and a run of 80. The rest have all been single-digit gains.
So snap back to the quarterback down that far sideline. Oh, nice catch down here in Fort Morgan territory as he hits his receiver, and he goes out at the 40-yard line of Fort Morgan. So 1st and 10, Grizzlies, let's see where they're good, on the 40 of Fort Morgan. So shotgun formation, put a man in motion, is going to be pitched back to him running left. And it looks like he is going to be taken down. He does get some positive yardage. So he gets it down to maybe the 37. Let's see where they finally unpile and put him at. It will be 2nd down from the 38. So a gain of 2. So 2nd and 8 from the Mustang 38. Snap back. It's going to be a handoff. Breaks 1 tackle, but he will finally come down at just short of the 35. So that'll bring up like about 3rd and 5.
Lunsford's first carry of the second half.
3rd and 5 from the 35. Snap back to Eben as he looks down this right sideline. That's going to be well over the head of the intended receiver, out of bounds. Has a nice ball, just was way too far out of bounds. So that will bring up a 4th and 5. Yes, Garver was right there in his back pocket.
Yeah, would have taken a perfect ball to drop in there and beat that coverage.
So 5:22 is Northridge goes for it, and it's going to be a pitch, but it goes back behind the intended recipient, and he will come down outside of the 40 as Eben pitched it, but it was well over the head. So we have a flag back at the. I think they're calling holding. Okay, that'll be declined, so it'll be Fort Morgan ball. So turnover on downs. So nice job by the Mustangs defense at that time, as we are down to 5:15 here in the 3rd quarter. The Mustangs up 40-7. So 1st and 10, Fort Morgan from the, where are they going to put it? Probably the 42. They're going to say the 41. Looks like more like the 40. Yeah, they just moved it back to the 41 for the Mustangs.
A little bit of a breeze out of the east coming up now, but still not enough to move the flag.
So a handoff to Kimball over that right side. And not much there. Looks like he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage. As Northridge shut down that play. Yeah, it's going to be. It's still the 41, so we'll bring 2nd and 10 from the 41.
And now they're going back to that defense they ran during the 2nd quarter, where they had, so many people up in the box trying to stop that and blitzing the run. They got single coverage out on both of the wide receivers.
So I formation to Kimball on that right side, bounces it out, but he is going to be brought down in the backfield for a loss.
Kimball's brought down to the backfield by number 30, Alonzo Lopez.
See what kind of a loss. It looks like it's going to be 2 yards back to the 38. That'd be 3 yards. So we'll bring up a 3rd and 13 from the 38 as Kimball loses 3 on that one.
Only his first or second carry for loss on the night.
So McBride goes wide right, Marquez to the left, I formation behind Knapp. It's going to be a pitch back to Kimball as he gets some blocking out here on this corner. He gets across the 45, the 50, 45, 40, and knocked out of bounds. Nice run there by Tate Kimball, and he gets plenty for the first down.
And Lopez in on the play defensively, shaken up for Northridge.
So nice blocking out here on the corner by at least by Marquez.
He's definitely feeling the pain.
Number 30 there.
Yeah.
So it'll be first down Fort Morgan from the Grizzly 42. I formation, handoff to Breidenbach this time up the middle as he will get it down to the 40. Looks like a gain of 2, so he'll bring up a 2nd and 8.
Only his first carry for the second half.
He's going to go out. I didn't see who came in. Tate's going to go out. Breidenbach's going to go out.
Yeah, we'll see George Perea run a little bit. He really did a good job in last week. Yep, that's him.
Perea.
And Abrego.
Yeah, I believe so. Abrego is the lead back. Perea is the tailback. On a second day, it's going to be pitched back to Abrego, and he cuts it up, but he is going to be, looks like he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. No, it's going to be a loss of 2, back to the original line of scrimmage. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 10 from the 42. As the clock continues to run here, down to 3 minutes left here in the 3rd period with the Mustangs up 40-7.
They're staying with Perea and Abrego, and guessing maybe they'll try throwing it. Trey's still out there in single coverage, as is Marquez.
Going to hand off to Perea on that right side, and it's just not there. They seem to, at least right now, running heavy to the right. That will bring up a 4th and 10. Looks like back to the line of scrimmage once again. So this will be, I believe, the first punt of the night for Fort Morgan, is it not?
It is, yep. Which is a good time to have it with 2 minutes left in the third quarter.
That's for sure. And Marquez will do the punting tonight, at least this time, for Fort Morgan. Snap back. A very high, short kick.
He had to hurry.
He was...
Yeah, he had to hurry because there were two guys coming in, and if he wouldn't have booted it quick, not a very good punt. Got about 12 yards net on it, 13 yards.
So 1st and 10 Grizzlies.
But much better than a blocked punt.
That's for sure. At the 26.
A lot of looks like the Northridge faithful maybe heading home a little bit early.
Walking around back here behind us. 3 receivers, right, 1 left. As they get ball in play, it's going to be a pass out here into the flat at the 20. And he puts his shoulder down, tries to run over Linker, but Linker does bring him down after about they're going to mark it at the 28, so it's going to be a 2-yard gain. So we bring up a 2nd and 8. Grizzlies.
And that was almost a backwards pass.
It looked like a backwards pass.
Yeah, I'm going to give him a run on that one.
So down to a minute 28 here in the third quarter. Put a man in motion. As it's a keeper on that left side. Now he pitches out to the pitch man. Gets it across the 30, the 35, and finally brought down out at the 40.
I tell you what, 11 for us. Garcia had a chance to get him, and just brings back what a great open field tackler Nate Gerter was last year, because we just got so used to him being able to make a tackle on any play.
So 1st and 10 from the 39, snap back, and it's going to be handoff over that right side. A nice job there by Nate Cage as he brings the runner down at the line of scrimmage. So nice job there by Nate Cage to bring up a 2nd and 10. Grizzlies after the no gain, as the Grizzlies have gone no huddle all night as they get their play from one of the coaches on the sideline, signals it in. Down under 40 seconds now here in the third period. The Mustangs up 40-7. Snap back. It's play action as he rolls out to his right. Looks downfield. He's being hounded, and that ball is going to be, maybe he does hit the ground. There was a number of players from both sides there after the ball was tipped up into the air, but did fall harmlessly to the ground. Looks like Angelo Rivera, Luis Garcia, Isaac Linker. There was a number of Mustangs there.
Garver was over there. Garver, a nice addition to the team this year. I don't think he'd played in the past, and his speed has helped, and his ball skills.
Yeah. Snap back, and he is going to go down in the backfield. Jimmy Keller with the sack back at the 30-yard line. So that will be a loss of they're going to mark it clear back there. Yeah, they're going to mark it at the 31. So a loss of 8. So 4th and 18 from the 31. Nice job there by Keller as Eben had dropped back for the pass. And that will bring the third period to an end with the Mustangs leading 40-7 over Northridge here on B106 and B106.com. Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde back here at District 6 Stadium in Greeley. Tristan Reyes running the board for us tonight, doing an excellent job for us as usual back in Fort Morgan. Starting the fourth period here as the Grizzlies face a 4th and 18 from their own 31.
We haven't had really good punt returns.
Fort Morgan short of guys. They get him on the field. Nice deep kick to Kimball as he pedals back to the 30. Jukes around out to the 35, holds on to it, and he will finally be brought down at the Mustang 38-yard line. So decent field position for the Mustangs as they start 1st and 10 from their own 38. With 11:48 left here in the fourth period and a chance if they can get a touchdown and an extra point to get the clock to roll. Just so close, but yet so far away.
Well, I've been told that we're not pronouncing Manzano's name correct from a reliable source, so maybe we'll get that corrected and if he gets another play.
So 1st and 10 as they give it to Breidenbach as they're back in. He gets it out to the 45. So a gain of 7.
Number 2, Austin Breidenbach on the carry for the Mustangs.
Surprisingly, only his second carry of the second half.
So 2nd and 3 from the 45. For Breidenbach and the Mustangs as he goes out. I don't know if he was upset with Coach Chisholm. It looked like he wanted to stay in, but we have looks like Abrego as the lead back now in front of Kimball. As they start to watch the back judge now. And hand off to Kimball as he bounces it outside across the 45, 50, 45, 40. Here he goes again. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. We have a flag back here at the 45.
Find some running room on the right side.
Nate Cage acts like he's upset with himself, so maybe that's where the penalty is. So that will come back.
Well, now in the fourth quarter, Pueblo East is only ahead 21-14, so that's
Holding on the offense, number 81.
that'd be quite the shock if Harrison was able to beat Pueblo East.
That's for sure. Dominique Garcia at number 81 with the hold call.
So second and a long ways to go. Back at the 34.
So that's 2nd and 16.
14, I think.
2nd and 14. From the 34. Knapp fumbles the ball, but he does get the ball back, I believe. So nothing gained, nothing lost there on that exchange.
Just a down.
Yeah, it looked like they might have lost back to the 33. So we'll call it 3rd and 15 from the 33. 10:25 to go here, fourth period. Mustangs on their way to a big win here, 40-7 over Northridge. Going to be a handoff to Perea over that left side as he's hit in the backfield as he tries to go left.
Boy, George not having near the game he's had some of the other nights.
21, George Pereira on the carry.
See, I don't know if Fort Morgan is. I think their starters have been pretty much the same. I saw Celestino, Eric Carrillo in there.
Yep.
So that was a loss back to the 32. That's going to be another yard loss. So 4th and 16 from the 32 as Marquez lines up to punt for the Mustangs.
Let's hope they block a little better than they did last time.
That's for sure. Northridge returner stands back at their own 30. That was a nice punt by Marquez as that is caught at the 38-yard line or so.
Lunsford on the reception.
So first down Northridge from their 30, from their own 38.
Nice punt there. Much higher, no chance of return.
So 9:26 left in the game as the Northridge Grizzlies are 1st and 10 from their own 35. 2 receivers right, 2 left. Shotgun formation, put a man in motion right to left. And it's going to be a play action to him. Pass out into the flat to the right to the 40, 45, 50, 45. And does step out on that far east sideline into Fort Morgan territory down to the 44-yard line, I believe.
Right. So a nice pickup of 18 yards there.
Down to the 43.
Yeah, 18 yards.
So 3 receivers left, 1 right. Shotgun formation as looks out into the flat here to his receiver. And J.P. Hamer out here and drives him to the ground. Nice job there by Hamer on the single coverage on the tackle.
Order on the reception. Brought down by number 5, J.P. Hammer.
Does get a
3-yard gain on the play.
Gets 3 yards down to the 39. So brings up a 2nd and 6 from the 39. Pass is going to be over the head of the intended receiver.
Number
As
12, pass.
even hits the ground,
Number 35, Corbin Kozan.
but well over the head of the intended receiver. So bring up a 3rd down and 6 from the 39.
Good pressure that time, and was it 11 deep? Garcia's
Garcia.
back, and he had the chance to put a big hit on him. Instead, he went for the ball and just kind of misread it.
27, Devin Lunsford, brought down
So on that play, the handoff on the left side and brought down in the backfield by Gerardo Miranda back to the 40. So that will bring up a 4th. It'll be still about 4th and 6. From the 40, 2 receivers right, 2 left. Looks out here into the flat. Now pumps it down that left sideline. Oh, intercepted by Austin Bryden back at the 20. As he returns it back to the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, 45, and finally knocked out of bounds just short of midfield.
So what is that? His 4th interception then?
Yeah, I believe so, yes. So intercepted by
And that was
Austin
just
Breidenbach.
just an ill-advised pass. He just threw the ball into double coverage and then underthrew it. So as the receiver ran by, Breidenbach stepped up and caught that one.
Nice hands there for Austin. They'll bring up a 1st and 10, Fort Morgan from their own 49. As Kimball in the backfield, Abrego is the lead back. Kimball on that left side bounces it outside. Gets a block out there, the 45-40, and he's in the open again. The 35, the 20, the 15, 10, 5. This time that will count as Tate Kimball takes it in from 51 yards out to put the Mustangs up now 46-7 with 7:59 left here in the contest. 1 point away from a running clock, which kind of surprises me. I think you had said earlier you thought maybe this would happen or could happen. But it looked, Northridge looked like they had played some other teams fairly tough. But
Right, I think they were like 28-14 against Longmont, maybe.
yeah, they played some close games. So we'll see if we get the extra point. It's going to go left, so
no running clock.
So at the 7:59 mark here in the 4th period, the Mustangs lead at 46-7. As
Teammates will joke with them, now we got to stick around for another 10, 20 minutes.
So that play took 12 seconds off the clock. So Kimball with his 5th touchdown tonight.
Yes, I think so.
On a 51-yard run.
Because we have 1 passing, and we have 7 touchdowns. So 1, 2, that's the 2nd this quarter. I think he's got 6 on the night.
Okay. That
1, 2, 3,
is
4,
no good.
5, 6. Yep, that's 6 touchdowns for Tate. I think he's making up for the game and a quarter that he didn't get to run as far as yards.
Maybe he's trying to take over the lead in 3A. 3A was sitting at number 3 with 1,211 yards. Number 1 was Michael Zeman from Holy Family with 1,429 yards. Nathan Mackey from Meade was at number 2 with 1,275 yards. So he has a good chance of at least getting back up to number 2 unless Mackey has an excellent night for Meade. And that kick is going to bounce and go out of bounds at about the 20. So Northridge will take over 1st and 10 from the 35. With 7:59 still on the clock, as the clock did not start.
And at this point, the Grizzlies are just playing for pride and fun. They've got to realize there's no way they're coming back, but they can try and make improvement and score against a really good defense.
So 1st and 10, Grizzlies from their 35. Have 3 receivers right, 1 left. Shotgun formation. They put now a man in motion right to left. It's going to be a pitch back to the back going right. Gets it out across the 40.
It's a nice run.
And bring up a second down
In on that tackle for the Mustangs, number 20.
for Northridge as they get it out to the 42. They're going to say the 43. So they'll bring up a 2nd and 2 from the 43. So shotgun formation, 2 receivers right, 2 left. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. And he will break the tackle and get first down yardage. He will get across the 45.
Munster's a pretty elusive runner for them.
Lunsford on the carry is going to move the chains for the
It's
Grizzlies.
kind of a scat back type where some of their other runners, Lopez is definitely a bruiser, kind of a fullback type.
So 1st and 10 from the 46. Shotgun as he throws it out here into the left flat. Across the 45, jukes and breaks a tackle by Garver. And finally goes out of bounds at the 45. He laid a hit into Garcia. Then Hamer finally drives him out of bounds at the Mustang 35. So 1st and 10 from the Mustang 35.
They seem intent on scoring a touchdown and not letting Fort Morgan's next score push it into running clock.
So 7:11 left on the clock as they hand off up the middle. And brought down, let's see, who was it? Brought number 99 for Fort Morgan, Isaac Lopez, a senior.
Yeah, he just got his big low paw out there, grabbed a hold of him and dragged him down.
Looked like a gain of 1, so bring up a 2nd and 9 from the 34. Run that option play over the right side, and the ball.
Oh, they're going to say he's down.
They're going to call him down. A ref coming in from the far side said he was down. So we will see. They've got to get to the 25. So
they might have some different linemen in there than they normally do, and the rest of the team is cheering them on and having some fun.
So
99 and another 90-something. 94 maybe on this end. Yep.
they'll bring up a 3rd down and 1 as they will pick up the first down as they get it down inside the 25 to the 23 or so.
Terrence Tapia is the other senior that doesn't see a lot of time and is in there having a lot of fun.
So 1st and 10 now from the Mustang 23. Even drops back, now looks down that far right sideline, but over the head of the intended receiver and goes out of bounds, incomplete.
I think he wants that one back. That one was open, and he just threw it wide and long.
So, slight breeze blowing here now from the west. Puts a little chill in the air.
Makes us wish for that running clock a little bit more.
We'll have to have a talk with their kicker. So they have a hard time trying to get the ball set out there. Bring up a 2nd and 10. Northridge from the Fort Morgan 23. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers right, 2 left. Pitch back to the back as he gets it across the 20 and down to the 15 or so. It's going to be still short of the first down. Bring up a 3rd down and 2.
Brought down by number 4, Gerardo Miranda.
So we will watch the Grizzlies go back up to the line of scrimmage as they are down at the 15. So 3rd and 2. Handoff around that right side to number 10. Gets it across the 10, across the 5. It looks like he'll get it into the end zone for the touchdown for Northridge.
They caught Fort Morgan in a blitz, and the linebackers were shooting in on the right side, and they ran to Fort Morgan's left side and easily ran in there without being touched.
Taylor Warner with a touchdown. At the 5:23 mark, puts the score now at 46-13 with the PAT. Coming up here. Waiting for the snap. It is back. The ball is down. The kick is up, and it is good. So with 5:23 to go, the Mustangs' lead is now 46-14 over Northridge on B106 and B106.com. I'd be grumpy. Brian Nicklin, Kevin Rohde back here at District 6 Stadium in Greeley as Northridge just put it into the end zone. It's going to be another short kick as it's going to bounce at about the 24. Picked up and then knelt down. Is that number 1?
Yep.
Angelo Rivera. So 1st and 10 Mustangs as Rivera kneels down on it at the 22.
Looks like Linker's coming in at quarterback.
Yep.
Perea and maybe Abrego in there at running back, or
See how they are. We can see Perea anyway. It probably is Abrego.
Keller or Bulis at tight end.
Okay, we only have a single back. Oh, now he's going to show up.
And what's the play, he's wondering.
And somebody else is going to come in and then go out. We'll see how many they have on the field. As long as they don't have over, they threw a flag anyway.
Didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage. I think they were missing a lineman or a tight end.
Let's see, number 31 coming in, Julian Trunston. I don't know if he was supposed to. Well, number 73 is,
5-yard penalty, replay first
I
down.
believe, was the one that was late coming in. That was Jorge Ramos,
Yep.
our kicker from last week.
Right.
So it'll bring up a first.
That time he kicked him back 5 yards by not being in when he was supposed to. And 1st and 15 with a lot of substitutes in on the offense.
For sure. From the 17.
And 31, what'd you say, was
Tronston.
out at wide receiver.
So Isaac Linker in and gives it off to Perea as he bounces it outside around that left side. He gets it across the 20, 25, and possibly the 26.
Number 21.
So nice run there by Perea as he gets it out to the 26.
Yep, that was nice.
9-yard run there for Perea.
That's on the 26.
So 2nd and 6. Perea's always done a nice job this year, though, anytime he has been called on. So no surprise there. Linker looks at the back judges to wait for his countdown play clock. And Linker will take it and give it to Perea over that left side. Stutter step across the 25 to 30. And he will be short of the first down markers. He will be put down at about the 30, be a gain of 4.
Brought down by a bunch of Grizzlies.
So 3rd and 2 from the 30 for George Perea. Senior running back and defensive back for the Mustangs.
Good to see him making up for, a little positive yards after having some tough going when he was in the 3rd quarter earlier.
So under center, is Linker. I formation. Hand off to Perea. He will get enough for the first down. So nice.
Good job, George.
Nice run there to keep the clock and the drive going.
Number 21, George Pereira.
So bring up a 1st and 10 from the 34. Gain of 4. As we're down to 3:15 and counting here in the contest. The Mustangs up comfortably 46-14.
Number 88, Louis Botello, a senior coming in. Trying to get some of those seniors a chance to play in a game like this, because next week against Longmont it might be, down to the wire.
That's for sure. So under center once again is Linker. Waits for the countdown from the back judge. As he goes down under for the ball, gets the ball to Perea over the right side. He gets a nice run again out to the 43, 44-yard line. It's almost enough for a first down. Looks like he's going to be about a yard short, so bring up a 2nd and 1
Derek Hubbard.
from the 43. So I did notice if Northridge may have put in some different defensive players also. But 2nd and 1 for the Mustangs as we're down to 2:15 and counting.
Where the breeze is chilly.
It is a little chilly. For being 80 degrees today, it cools off quickly. So handoff to Pereira, that left side. Nice kick out over there, and he gets it across midfield down to the 40, the 30, the 20, 15, 10, 5, and Pereira is, I got ahead of myself a little bit. He is down at about the 5.
Number 21, George Burr on the carry. Brought down inside the 10-yard line.
So first down, Mustangs, as Pereira takes it down. Let's see where they're going to mark it. First and 10. Maybe it's even first and goal, I believe. At the 7, I believe. First and goal at the 7. So excellent run there by George Pereira.
50 yards.
He must have tackled him out of bounds. They stopped the clock with a minute 49. So we'll see if they. Looks like they're going to line up. Looks like in the victory formation here to kneel on it. With a minute and 49 as some of the Northridge faithful are exiting the stadium. So they did kneel it down, so that will bring up a second and goal.
Tate Kimball's going to end the night unofficially with 424 yards and 6 touchdowns.
So I think he kind of made up for being gone last week.
Yeah, that's a performance there.
Man. So second and goal from the 8. As Isaac Linker takes a knee once again. So a big win here for the Mustangs as they can, well, I was going to say play for a share of the title next week, but that it all depends on what happens tomorrow night with Longmont and Silver Creek. So if anybody doesn't have anything to do, and there'll be a good game tomorrow night in Longmont at Everly Montgomery Field.
Absolutely.
Between Longmont and Silver Creek. As it will now be down there. Hopefully that was the last play of the contest as he kneels on it. And it looks like that will be the last play of the game as the Fort Morgan Mustangs will win this one going away 46-14 on a big night by Tate Kimball. We will be back with the post-game show in 3 minutes on B106 and B106.com as well as Facebook Live. This Fort Morgan post-game show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit MCC online at www.morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, here to help you imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goals. Well, big night here for the Fort Morgan Mustangs as they win at 46-14. There's a 27-7 halftime lead for the Mustangs. First possession for the Mustangs in the second half was a 28-yard pass to Trey McBride. PAT was no good, left the score at 33-7. Fort Morgan with 8:53 to go. They did make that drive in 4 plays. Next possession, the Mustangs go up 40-7. PAT was good at that point as they take the ball 80 yards. Well, actually, it was an 80-yard run by Tate Kimball. They started that on the 16-yard line, so an 84-yard run by for the Mustangs on that possession put the score up 40-7. The PAT was good with 7:15 left in the third period. The Mustangs then intercept a pass with 8:11 left in the third period by Austin Breidenbach. And in one play, Tate Kimball takes it 51 yards for the touchdown. PAT no good, put the score at 46-7 with 7:59 left in the third period. In the game, excuse me. Northridge then gets the ball back on their next possession. They take it from their own 35, and Warner takes it in a 15-yard run. The PAT is good, puts the score at 46-14, And that is where the contest ended about 5 minutes later as the Mustangs took the ball one last time with 5:20 and ran the clock out and made the final score 46-14, up their record now to 8-1 with one game left in the conference, or in the season actually, and that will be against Longmont a week from tomorrow. So that will be a big game for the Mustangs, that's for sure. So I think Kevin's got some stats for us from the game.
Right. Absolutely, that game is going to be a big game. Even if Longmont doesn't win tomorrow night and it's just a game for second place, it'll mean a lot as far as RPI points and postseason positioning, plus pride and all that other stuff. So, well, again, we don't have the statistics for Northridge. I'm guessing in the second half they did have a little bit of success. They did get the touchdown, so roughly guessing somewhere around 250 yards, maybe a little less. Would you believe 617 total yards for the Mustangs? 617 yards. And this is how they came. Dalen Knapp passed 8 times, completed 5 of those for 81 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown goes to Trey McBride, who caught 3 other balls for a total of 4 completions on 75 yards. Marquez catches the other one for 6 yards. And so the Mustangs end the night 5 of 8 for 81 yards and 1 touchdown passing. Rushing, Dalen Knapp has 2 carries for a -2 yards. Tate Kimball, 30 carries for 424 yards. That's a 14-yard per carry average. And Austin Breidenbach also gets 9 carries for 41 yards. And George Perea gets 8 carries for 73 yards in mop-up duty. And I forgot to mention Tate's 6 touchdowns to go with his 424 yards. So that's about a touchdown for every 70 yards that he ran, and a lot of them were about 70 yards.
Yeah,
so
excellent night for Tate.
Absolutely great night. So Fort Morgan ends the night 49 carries for 536 yards, a team average of over 10 yards per carry, right at 11 yards per carry. 6 touchdowns on the night, 617 yards total offense. Northridge really didn't have an answer for the running game other than to put everybody up in the box. And as we've talked about in the past, if you put everybody in the box, there's no one home when he breaks through, and that's why you see the big, long touchdowns. Teams have to put almost everybody up on the line to keep us from not just getting 7 to 8 yards every play, and then they take that risk. So
that's for sure, and we need to give a lot of credit to that offensive line, and
also
to the wide receivers. They were doing excellent blocking out on the edge tonight also. So it's as we say, it's a team win. If you lose, it's a team loss. You win, it's a team win. But you have your star people in skilled positions, and we saw that tonight with Tate Kimball. So
absolutely, I think Tate would be the first one to say that he wouldn't be getting that kind of yardage if he didn't have the line, moving the line of scrimmage down the field 2 or 3 yards right at the snap.
Yep, that's for sure. So we will go with our Fort Morgan Mustang player of the game, and that is brought to you by Transwest Chevrolet Buick, serving Northeast Colorado and now located in Fort Morgan and Sterling. Stop by and take a test drive. They have a great selection of new and used vehicles, or browse our website, transwestchevroletbuick.com. And it's a no-brainer tonight. Our player of the game will be Tate Kimball on his 6 touchdowns and 424 yards. So sets up a big game next week. We'll see what happens tomorrow night with Longmont and Silver Creek, but Fort Morgan will travel back up to Longmont at Everly Montgomery Field next Friday night. That will be a 7 o'clock game, and we will have that here for you at 7 o'clock from Everly Montgomery Field. So excellent job tonight by our sound engineer and producer, Tristan Reyes. Julie Garcia has been our replay engineer. For Kevin Rohde, this is Brian Nickel. Once again, the final tonight. Fort Morgan 46, Northridge 14. You've been watching the post-game show on Facebook Live and listening to it on B106 and B106.com. Good night, everybody.